On UCLA's campus, a student wearing a Star of David necklace is denied entry to the campus by masked pro-Palestinian activists. Watch this.
We're going this way.
We gotta go right
You guys
away.
have closed the entrance. We are UCLA students. I have my ID right here. I'm being blocked off, not by the security guard, but by you two. You three.
We'll see what happens when a based Jewish student confronts radicalized pro-Palestine protesters. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my beautiful freedom-loving friend, where we like to call out the lies, hypocrisy, and corruption of tyrants and Satan, shine the light of awareness on woke absurdities, and highlight the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, there's certainly no question the pro-Palestine protests on college campuses that are riddled with students who did not give a crap about any of that before October 7th, but have seemingly been really radicalized, and they're doing radical things, taking over buildings. Many colleges have shut down in-person learning until the fall. There's no question that it's just amped up in the past week or so. And there's no question it is amped up beyond protesting. There's now certainly criminal behavior happening and certainly hatred behavior happening. We're going to take a look back at this Jewish student who is being refused. The masked protesters aren't letting him through because he's Jewish. And there's going to be a couple other examples. And we'll also see later on the same based Jewish student confronting other protesters about why they're wearing masks. Now, but first, there's some certain irony happening here as you're taking a look at footage of just radicalized all hell breaking loose as it is doing across college campuses throughout our whole country. And the irony is masterfully captured by the Babylon Bee with this headline: "Oh no, indoctrinated woke extremists destroy woke extremist indoctrination center." That is genius, and it's so true. Oh, cool, woke extremists are, well, yeah, a woke extremist indoctrination center is what colleges are. So why are we surprised that that's happening? That's another story for another day. Let's pick up where we were with the based Jewish student confronting the protesters who were blocking him, and then we'll hear from him via his interview.
Look, they're making their burger while I'm going this way. Excuse me. This is what they do. Everybody, look at this. Look at this. I'm a UCLA student. I
All wearing masks. Keep taking note of that.
deserve to go here. We pay tuition. This is our school, and they're not letting me walk in.
Unbelievable, but it happened, and this is the man that it happened to. Eli Sivitz joins us now. Eli, you looked like you knew what was about to happen, and it took all your composure that you could muster not to bull your way in. Can you bring us back to that moment?
Which, by the way, that's very smart of him. That was happening to me, especially because of because I'm a ginger, just something about me that would enrage me. And I think it takes a lot of great self-control to not get physical, which was very smart of him.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I take the same path to class every single day. And when I got there, it was blocked off by these students, not a security guard, but by these students. I showed them my ID and I said, "This is the way I entered a class. Please let me in." When they refused, I quickly understood what was happening. I handed my phone to my fellow Jewish friend, and he started filming so we could document exactly what was happening.
Which I think this kind of thing, documenting, it's great that some people are doing this because it just helps wake more and more people up that are still lightly sleeping to see what's going on. Like these protesters, and this isn't protesting, they're blocking his way into the college that he pays to go to because he's Jewish. This only makes them look bad. And I would dare say that's good because what they're doing is bad.
And who were those people who were denying you access to your space?
They could have been UCLA students. They could not have been. I honestly would not be surprised if they were not UCLA students, but they were part of the pro-Hamas mob that has taken over our school.
Were you tempted just to divide them? I mean, because you're larger than they are. It looks like they're mostly women. Could you have just gotten through them, or did you decide not to do that?
We are for peace, and we will never barge through because we know that we're better than them in that sense. Yeah, could I have? Absolutely.
Now he's getting egotistical. Yeah, I could have broke through the line.
But I would rather have documented that so we could show the world exactly what is going on in universities in the United States.
Look how nutty that is in the B-roll. All this graffiti, it is nuts. Everybody wearing masks, concealing their identity.
You know, Eli, I'm curious, and I posed this question to our anchors this morning on the couch. What would happen if this happened to any other minority group? Do you think that there would have been more outrage over this incident, Eli?
Absolutely, I do. I also think if it was an encampment that is not a pro-Hamas encampment, for example, say there was a KKK encampment happening, it would have been shut down immediately.
You think? Who's funding this? Who's organizing it? Who's radicalizing these students that never gave a crap about Palestine before October 7th? They probably couldn't have even found it on a map. And by the way, why are the universities allowing it? I get it. Everybody's allowed to protest, but you're not allowed to commit crimes. Protesting is not a crime. Crimes are in fact a crime. They are not protests. You can be doing crimes under the cover of a protest, but they are still a crime. So why are the universities doing it? I also saw footage of university police saying, yeah. The university told us we were not allowed to do anything here. It's not a lack of a police problem. It's a who's allowing this and deliberately making sure it continues to happen problem.
On here at college universities in the United States, that we are allowing these students to spread their hatred, their bigotry, and their anti-Semitism against Jewish students all around the world. And many Jewish students, feel very unsafe.
I think it's also worth remembering the footage we all saw many months ago of the 3 heads of Ivy League schools, Claudine Gay, Harvard, UPenn, some other school that I don't give a crap about, testifying in front of Congress and saying, like, are you good? Is calling for genocide against Jews, does that qualify as hate speech? None of them said yes. Nah, that's all right. Those are the universities where this is now happening. Why are they deliberately allowing it to happen? Why were they deliberately saying, yeah, genocide against Jews? That's not hate speech. I mean, calling someone the wrong pronoun now, that's real hate speech. We'll get back to the video in a second, but first I have a question. Did you get vaccinated for whatever reason? And if you did, are you getting a little worried about the many health implications that are now being documented? Well, if so, you're not alone. Spike protein causes a whole host of long-term health issues that we're now documenting in real time. And fortunately, help is here because Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Drew Pinsky, and the chief medical board at the Wellness Company have found a solution. Spike Support Formula by the Wellness Company. It's the revolutionary over-the-counter gold standard for combating spike protein, the toxic substance that seems to be at the root of all these new issues. The all-natural ingredients are researched to block and dissolve the spike protein in the bloodstream. With the Wellness Company Spike Support Formula, you've got your daily supplement to get back to feeling your best and to relieve your worries. Get it now and reclaim your health by going to twc.health/JPReacts, and while you're there, use the code JPReacts to get 15% off your order. Back to the video.
Do you think they even know what they're protesting? Do they understand the history of this region? Do they understand October 7th?
I think that a lot of them do understand, and they still choose to say what they say. We go to the #1 public school in the world. These people are smart. They are educated.
The #1 public school in the world? That's true. This is a crappy world.
They know what they're saying. They know what an intifada is. They want an intifada. They want to see the mass genocide of Jews.
You know, Eli, it's got to be complicated being you on that campus right now, because I'm sure some of the people in that group, or some of the people who support that group, either in public or private, they're your classmates. Some of them might be your teachers, and they don't. From what I've seen in some of these demonstrations, they don't like the fact that you're Jewish.
Is that hateful?
That's exactly correct. I mean, listen, I'm a theater major. I go into class and I see people wearing keffiyehs, and I have to work with them in a small classroom setting for the next 3.5 years. It's hard. I get dirty looks walking down the hallways.
You heard it from him. It is really hard to believe that from the far leftist side of we're the party of inclusivity, that you get this much, yeah, we're not inclusive to you guys. We hate you guys. Diversity matters, as long as it's not like actual sexual diversity. Now, that same young man, you can go to his Instagram and he's documenting a lot of things. One of the things I saw him documenting, he's confronting other protesters about something I've been talking about. I think it's so obvious, but not many people are pointing it out. Why are such a high percentage of these pro-Palestine protesters wearing masks? I think it's because they have nefarious criminal intentions, and they are, in fact, not all, but a lot are doing criminal activity. So the original mask wearers weren't the COVIDians, they were the criminals, because when you're doing crime, you don't want to get caught. So it's like, I'm going to hide myself while I'm here. That's what a mask does. Now they get to conveniently use the excuse of like, I think COVID's still going on. Yeah, that's of course why I'm wearing the mask. So we'll see him asking a crowd of protesters about their masks. And I think he says some pretty bold, very true things. Take a look.
You and I, we all know the reason why you have masks. It's because you don't want us to identify you. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Who else would do that? Stand for what you believe in. I respect your belief, I do. But if you do that, at least show your face. Stand for what you believe in. I appreciate that. Stand for what you believe in. We're not in masks because we...
One guy took his mask off. Nobody else did.
Stand for what we want you to see who we are. Because we're humans. Concealing your face, what's the point? Why?
Concealing your faces. What's the point? And actually, as he points out before that, my paraphrase words, it's because they're cowards. They're not proud of what they stand for. This base dude, he's proud of what he stands for. He's there holding his Israeli flag, no mask on. And when I'm speaking of my beliefs, I'm proud of my beliefs. I don't have to hide from a mask because I'm not proud of what I'm doing, not proud of what I'm standing for in the moment. And I think given all this mask wearing, it does really allude to the likely possibility with so many of these people that they don't actually have pride in what they're doing, which would heavily suggest a lot of them have been radicalized. They've had their minds captured and they're doing things that they themselves don't even understand what they're doing. They're going with the herd. They're doing sheep mob mentality. This is what we're doing. Okay, good people are doing this. Okay, I'm going to do it too. Oh, why are you doing this? I don't know. So even if you're just being a sheep and feel the emotion of passion, you won't have deep pride in what you're standing for. Case in point, check out this quick interview with protesters in New York.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either.
Oh.
I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down. I heard there's lots of cops. Some people were saying it was getting dangerous.
You literally heard it from her. I don't know why we're here. We heard the students here need our support at this pro-Palestine rally. Now, hats off to her. She wasn't wearing a mask. She is proud to not be proud of what she stands for because she literally doesn't know what she stands for. Cut to her friend. You couldn't have scripted it any better. Friend wearing a mask. I don't know why we're here, but I wish I was better educated about why we're here. So with that said, that's what a based student looks like standing up to protesters. And I think a lot of insight into why a lot of these radicalized protesters, some of which are criminals, are wearing masks in such high percentage.